Hi, everyone. Hope that all of you have been doing well. Today, my topic is mental health, and I'm going to dig deeper as to why there is so much renewed focus on mental health and why it may be time for you to also start focusing on this side of your health. So, you may have heard about the mind body connection, right? And we've heard terms which are being used, such as mindfulness, connecting with your body with your mind, doing things in a mindful way so that you start recognizing your body's response to different things. I mean, from eating something to even exercising or doing anything with a renewed focus by establishing or re-establishing that connection between the mind and the body. Now, why does everybody rant about this? Why do we have all these, all the scientists and doctors and health experts, longevity experts are, or everyone is sort of focusing on mental health, right? And in fact, all our previous concepts related to physical health, I feel like they're just crumbling because somewhere maybe 2, 3 decades ago, we started thinking that physical health has everything to do with weight loss and exercise and just doing aerobics and blah blah blah, and eating salads. But turns out that there is much more at play here, and the reason for this topic to sort of resurface at this stage is that human beings are living in an era which I think we may not have lived in for centuries. Previous civilizations of previous societies did not have a bombardment of data the way we have. You see, if I'm sitting here in Canada, I know what is happening in Africa. I know what is happening in different parts of the world. And I am so connected despite the difference in time zone, despite the, difference in the kind of life people lead here. Like you're so connected with what is happening in the world. And at a minute's notice, you can check the weather, you can check, you can order grocery, you can do so many things. I mean, we are living in an age which I don't think anybody would have foreseen even 3, 4 decades ago. And so, let alone somebody who lived a few centuries before us, right? So, life has just transformed very quickly for the people who are living on this earth right now, too quickly, if I may say so, because we are not we can say that we are not genetically programmed to understand this new kind of life, right? Because all our ancestors, they lived a different reality. I mean, I can say so for myself. I think my ancestors were into farming. So I mean, I cannot imagine somebody who's into farming, sort of just sitting in front of a screen and looking at the news, writing articles, watching videos, buying things online. I mean, it's a completely different reality. And hence, the impact is just as severe. Hence, the impact on our mental health, hence, the impact on our physical health is immense. And I think we don't talk much about it. I mean, most of what I hear, or I read, or I see on YouTube, or I listen to in podcasts, is a lot to, I mean, because maybe a lot of data has not been, a lot of research is not being done at the moment on, what all this extra screen time is doing to us, what, how our life has been impacted by the use of electricity and with people staying up for longer hours. Like, I'm not sure that there are enough data points to validate things right now. But one thing is for sure, it is a serious issue, you see. So, why is that? Because our circadian rhythm, the way we were made, the way we are biologically designed, was to sort of, wake up when the sun goes up and sort of wind down as the sun goes down. But somehow there has been a complete shift whereby our mornings are spent at work or school or whatever, but by the time we get home and it's evening, instead of winding down, we're sort of winding up, and we're like doing things which we were technically supposed to do during the day. um, Much of it is not our fault, to be very honest. It is how modern life has been designed, because with the advent of electricity, with the advent of all this technology and the phones, everything, work has also sort of, it has literally hijacked most people's lives. I mean, people are working till 5 or 6. Previously, when they were going to work, they would the commute would sometimes take a couple of hours. So, I mean, by the time someone would get home, it's like 8, and I mean, they want to have that bag of Doritos and they want to watch their favorite show. I mean, I don't blame them. I've been that person, because you just feel like you need to reward yourself because you've just literally not done anything for yourself the whole day. Of course, with age, the what you want to do for yourself, that concept changes. But like, it's just, it's overwhelming, that the amount of work and the amount of input that businesses and jobs are expecting from people, right? And as the work life balance started to tilt in favor of work, same time, these devices entered the picture, such as the cell phone. We had the advent of new social media such as YouTube, Netflix, on the OTTs. So access to entertainment became easier. I mean, on a weekday night, you don't have time to go to watch a movie outside, right? So, but you can watch it at home. So you see, all those things which were treats, like going to the movies, or going outside and buying your favorite album and playing it on your video cassette, on your cassette player or your CD player. I mean, this is what it was. Now I can just do this on Spotify at a second's notice, right? So those things which were entertainment, which were considered dopamine generating activities, as some people would say, well, I mean, they're at our fingertips now. So here is this person. So let's do this. I'll sort of unpack as to this person goes to work, wakes up at like 6 or 7 in the morning, goes to work or works from home, whatever, works the whole day, gets home at like maybe around 6. Um, if he's healthy, into physical exercise, maybe goes to the gym. By the time comes back, has their dinner, they have their dinner, and it's time for Netflix, right? Or it's time to listen to some music on Spotify or whatever it is, or play some video games on PlayStation, and eat a snack or two, something to um, um, sort of help the reward system in the brain, and then go to bed, right? And then it's Groundhog Day all over again, right? So this is the life of most people who are in the ages of 20 to 30 right now. Okay. Luckily enough, in this present generation of 20-year-olds, at least emphasize they are interested in their physical appearance, so they do hit the gym. I think the previous ones didn't even do that. They relied on their good metabolism only. But apart from that, like, the also the other aspect of the entertainment has a lot to do with social media, right? Now, this is not the way you live a good life. This is not good for your mental health. Now, why did I lay down the foundations of this entire story before I actually talk about my topic, which is mental health? Is because, you see, when you live this kind of day in, day out, the monotony of it, the fact that you really cannot get much in on a normal day for yourself starts eating into your mental health, right? Now, most of us, I mean, it would be amazing if we lived on a planet where nobody harmed anybody, nobody said anything mean to anyone, nobody had toxic relationships, nobody was harming them with their words or their actions. People didn't have childhood trauma, people didn't have other forms of trauma, right? But the fact of the matter is that this person who's living in Groundhog Day is also someone who's facing these day-to-day traumas. Like, when they get stuck in traffic, they face anxiety and panic. because it's hitting somewhere. This is something from their childhood, and it's getting activated and triggered by the environment when they're having a stressful day at work, and a colleague is being mean to them or their boss is being nasty to them. They're just panicking because they become their inner child is feeling attacked, as opposed to the adult, sort of realizing that, okay, it's fine, maybe the boss is having a bit, meaning there's so much going on um, inside of them, that when a little bit happens in the outside world, it just rips them apart, right? And that is why we have a mental health crisis. And not only this, I mean, if I am living this lifestyle, which I just described to you, where is my time for social interaction? I mean, FaceTiming people, talking to them on the phone, yes, definitely. It does have a positive impact compared to people who have no contact with any human. But just like the idea of hanging out with your friends, meeting somebody for a cup of coffee on a regular basis, even during a weekday, even during the week, not just waiting for the weekend to sort of say, okay, I'm going to do, just waiting for the weekend where you pack your weekend with like so much stuff that you don't even rest because you want to make up for all the social, for the isolation that you face during the week. No, it should be something which can be done on a daily basis, whereby on a daily basis you can go and meet up with a friend, maybe somebody who lives close by, maybe you can meet somebody after work. But the fact of the matter is that uh, this lifestyle is not sustainable. And this is what we saw during COVID. This is what we saw, how the mental people's mental health just was in complete disarray, because suddenly um, there was no more stress coming from work directly. There was, people are working from home. Most of the stress was sort of externalized into what will happen to me if I get COVID and I will die, and I don't know what will I do. Like, people were just like thinking about something else. For the first time, work was not their biggest worry. The jobs was not their biggest worry. They were just like, oh my God, am I gonna make it or not? It was a paradigm shift in how we think. And then also a realization that, how many people picked up the phone and checked on you, or how many people called you, or how many people decided to drop food at your doorstep if you were sick. I mean, all these things, it really made people realize that how many meaningful relationships they have, like, and what have they achieved in their life apart from being a good worker. And this is where the mental health crisis hit, because suddenly people saw the reality of their life, that if you take away all these distractions that they have, what meaningful relationships do they have? Like, how many people know the real them? And then all those demons which were in the closet, right? All the trauma, all the bad experience, they just surfaced. All that anxiety that was piled up came inside, it was inside the house, and it was staring at everyone. And there was absolutely no distraction to sort of take that feeling away from someone. So basically, people had to finally face their depression. They had to face their insecurities. And that is why a lot of people took therapy during COVID. After COVID, a lot of people did, younger, older, all types of people took therapy, because they finally saw it. They saw the need. So yes, there are people who will say, "Oh, everyone is taking therapy these days. Everybody has problems. Everybody has this." Yes, everybody does have it, and that's the truth. The truth of the matter is that most of us have mental health issues. Most of us are struggling in life. Most of us have had a breakup. Most of us have lost a parent. Most of us have had an abusive childhood. Most of us have been bullied at school. It's a reality. We never addressed it because we were always told to be resilient and just, okay, it's okay, overlook it. But when you are putting things under the rug, they have to surface. That's human nature. That, like, we're not like animals, right? Because, like, if an animal, if an animal cannot is hunting and does not, get a good prey one day, it's like sitting in his house and depressed and sad, and no. the next day they do the same thing. It doesn't affect them because they work on their primal instincts. We don't. We have emotions. We are real. We experience things. We have memories of things, and our memories of bad experiences are stronger than our memories of good experiences. It's not in our control. So when we talk about mental health, we have to understand that when we are in a poor state of mental health, there is a severe behavioral impact. There's a lot of anger, anguish, anxiety, panic, all these different emotions that can come out. They can come out on you. You are harming yourself. You can harm your loved ones. Then at the same time, you can go into a zombie mode where you are somebody who looks, pristine, amazing, no problems at all, but inside it's like, I don't know, it's like, there's a flood inside you, right? But you're just putting up this fake persona in front of people because you just don't want them to think that you don't have a perfect life, because your insecurities will come jumping at you if you just even think about it. Like, even if you tell yourself that I have insecurities, like, even you say that, that will make them jump out at you. So this rant about this rant about mental health and everybody talking about mental health, there's a lot of wisdom in it, because if you're not well mentally, you will not be well physically. And this is why we are hearing about early deaths. We are hearing about, people literally having cardiac arrest for no reason, and they're like, "Oh, he was perfectly fine. I saw him at the gym the other day." No, it's got nothing to do with the gym. It's got nothing to do with their weight. It's got nothing to do with them being rich or poor or having a good job, having a beautiful wife, not having a beautiful wife. No, people are living with their demons, and the longer they live with the demons will eventually take over. And if it's some therapists say that, when you don't look after your health, right? I mean, an impact of your mental health is that some people, they will go and eat junk food, and they will eat lots of candy, or they will smoke a lot, they will drink a lot, they will do harmful behavior to. So said that's sort of like doing suicide as well, because you're sort of, you don't care, I don't care about my body, I don't care if I die tomorrow. This is also negative. You see, this means that you're not in the right state of mind, because a healthy individual will always guard their brain, guard their body, and not harm it, right? And you, all these addictions, all these negative behaviors, all these uh, poor behaviors, they are they're stemming from your internal need to, I don't know, enact things. It's like, it's your internal need to maybe hide your insecurities. It's your internal need to show how strong you are, or but it's not natural. You as a person are probably different from what you are showing to the world, or what you're doing to yourself. For first and foremost, what you're doing to yourself, forget about the world. So if you're harming yourself, if you're living groundhog day, and really are just like looking around here and there, trying to figure out what you want to do in life, and you don't feel happy, you don't feel at peace, then it might be time to take some help. And I think it's worth a shot, right? Like, for example, when we catch a flu or something, we buy our flu meds, but we still end up going to the doctor when it lasts more than 4 or 5 days, right? So maybe it has been more than 4 or 5 days since you got this flu, right? And where you were feeling sad for no reason, where you get distracted for no reason, you get into fights with other people, or you're just not happy with your life, and then maybe it's time to go out and get help. And I tell you, when you start talking to people about your mental health, and when you start opening up about it, and when the realizations will sort of dawn on you, it will not get easier. It gets tougher. I'm telling you from personal experience. It's like when you start realizing that what behavior came from where, it is it's it's even more pressurizing, because you finally understand where it came from. But then it's also liberating, because you know what to focus on, right? That it's not yours. Like, you are not born with this feeling, you are not born with anxiety, you're not born with claustrophobia, you're not born with fear of heights, you're not born with these things, right? We acquire them over time, and in order to overcome them, we have to first realize that we have them, right? And the only way to do that is when we start focusing on our mental health, when we start when we start identifying things in our health, so in our minds, which need to be focused on, which need to be worked on. I mean, if we think that our life is perfect just because we have a lofty job, and we're living in a nice apartment, and we drive a nice car, that's not life. Your life is truly, if you're at peace, if you're happy with who you are, if you're happy with your existence, if you're happy being yourself in front of others, anyone, your colleague, your boss, your friends, your family, whoever. So it is time that you start looking at your life with a different lens. Hope this helps you.